I want to talk about award shows and whether they actually matter anymore.
No, they don't.
Do they matter anymore?
No, it's all rigged. I want a $2,000 gift bag.
Yes. So this article is from IndieWire, and it says Golden Globes underwhelm as Hollywood anticipates the real influencers, the SAG Awards. So the real influencers are the Screen Actors Guild, apparently. This year's award season is almost as quiet as last year's, but there's still time to build winning momentum. What a long, strange trip it's been watching the Golden Globes fade into obscurity. Not that long and not that strange. I think.
What does Golden Globes do?
Television.
Television.
Yes. Sunday night's untelevised awards ceremony was held at the usual location, the Beverly Hills.
It wasn't televised?
Nope, it wasn't even televised. The Beverly, because I think they had no crowd because of COVID. So the Beverly Hilton in a private ballroom without a red carpet, celebrities, press, or fanfare, and the rest of Hollywood, beyond those with a rooting interest in their upcoming awards like SAG, Oscars, and the Emmys, paid little mind to the Globe winners, announced via a series of off-kilter, star-focused tweets. Truth is, the Globes have long provided a great excuse for Hollywood to reveal its hedonistic party weekend. At the moment that the sort of behavior, like the Golden Globes themselves, is hidden behind closed doors. I always think it's so weird how people love seeing celebrities hanging out with one another. It's like there's always gifs of celebrities hugging at these events. I'm like, why do you care?
It's like a clique at your high school. You're like, oh my gosh, they're friends.
Yeah.
So cool. It's very relevant to me.
Oh my God.
It's not, just in case you're wondering.
Seeing Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper hanging out
high
is
school
everything.
Reunions. Are you ever going to go back to it? Sorry, it's off
My
topic.
high school doesn't have reunions. I went to this public school that just doesn't organize them. Unfortunately, my graduating classes had several fatalities, and so our fifth year, what would have been our fifth year high school reunion, we all saw each other at someone's wake, which is morbid, but that's my life.
Very morbid.
I would go back probably, but there's not a there's not a purpose, and I don't feel like I'm necessarily missing anything.
Well, for me, I feel like I wouldn't go at all because I didn't care for high school at all. Our high school is really crappy, even though it was the newer high school that it was built in 2008. We had crappy systems there, and also they rigged the prom. Sorry, I'm still salty about it because my prom was outside on the grass. And everybody was wearing high heels or whatever fancy shoes they had, and we had
a
little
towers outside.
I don't know, somebody chose.
High school's so weird.
No, it was so stupid because they asked us what kind of prom do you want, and they gave us two options that I thought were both stupid and generic. So one of them was wintertime in Paris, and then the second one was Princess and the Frog theme. And apparently everybody chose the Winter in Paris one, but we got the Princess and the Frog one. And it wasn't even that theme either. We went downtown Bakersfield, nearby the clock tower, and our platform was this little tiny thing. And this is how I feel about the Golden Globes. It's just a crappy reunion that nobody needs.
Yeah.
I think you're right. It says NBC's live Golden Globe shows helped build winners' momentum, but that didn't happen this year. And due to the Omicron surge, the live event that was supposed to capitalize on the missing Globes telecast, the Critics' Choice Awards, was postponed until another date still to be announced, along with the Academy Governors Awards. It really is just one big circle jerk the whole way around. It's kind of like the award show version of we investigated ourselves and found we did nothing wrong.
That's a great line.
We've judged ourselves and found that we all deserve awards.
Yeah, I think what's hard is the prominence of independent reviewers now. Especially if I go to Amazon Prime and I'm selecting a movie, maybe Amazon's going to suggest things, but I can also see the stars, how much it's gotten rated. I hear from my friends. Maybe there's a blogger I like who's recommended this film to me. I think that in the way that these big organizations sort of govern themselves, I don't even know who is on the board of people who decide things at any of them. I don't know, and I don't know that I care about their opinion because I can use my own influencers or own metrics to decide if I like a film. I think
those industries are never going to. They'll never coexist,
right? And
because Hollywood sees themselves as the elite, and they view anybody who makes it on their own as somehow less than them.
Right. I am much more interested. When a film has the laurels from the Telluride Film Festival or Sundance or whatever. Yeah. That's more meaningful to me because I think that there
even
is,
that to me is like,
well, and it's not perfect, but I feel more excited about it because people in those have broader interests and there's more niche and there's more whatever. This feels so corporate. I don't care what the Golden Globes say.
And it's all virtue signaling now anyway. It's all soapbox. It's all soapbox presentation so that they can complain about whatever cause, like we were talking about earlier. The industry that produced Harvey Weinstein will then go on and have their celebrities talk about how they need to stamp out sexism when they give their award speech.
Right.
All being clapped at by the same people they're literally talking about.
Right. I think it's hard because there are people who work in these industries who I think deserve recognition, like hair and makeup artists or set design.
Still remember, there is no award for stuntmen.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We were talking about it. Like, they never have it, and they never, like, say the stuntmen or women that we lost in the past year. Like, I was so upset that they didn't, like...
Well, they might do that off air.
Well,
shouldn't they televise
they
it?
should absolutely televise it.
They should televise it.
They do the thing for like celebrities that have died.
Right.
But inevitably, whenever they do that, somebody gets left off the list and people get pissed.
They get it wrong.
But there's no award for arguably one of the most dangerous aspects of filmmaking in an industry that's increasingly dependent on extremely dangerous behavior.
I mean, I talked about this earlier. That spy movie 355 and all of the Marvel, like, they are heavy stunt and like firearms and whatever dominant. That industry would not exist. What do you mean they're not getting awards? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I think there are, if we just want to answer the question, like, do award shows matter? Like, some awards are worth watching, but I'm never more likely to buy an album because it won an Emmy. I'm never more likely to see a movie because it won an Oscar. I know some people might be. I'm not more likely to watch a television show because it won a Golden Globe. Like, are you just trying to congratulate people who work in the industry?
Yeah.
That's fine. A ton of industries have industry awards, but do they matter to the consumer? I don't think so.
It's the rise of celebrities being unable to shut up on Twitter or why these things are dying, in my opinion, because they can't stand the celebrities giving their virtue signaling talk up when they win the awards. People do, and like you mentioned earlier about influencers being far more not relevant, far more relatable to the average person by means of how they communicate with you, meaning that influencer probably makes pretty good money, and you're probably not much, you probably have as little in common with that influencer as you do with that celebrity, maybe a little bit more, but in general, the way that you communicate with them is so much more visceral, like how you see them. So there is an ivory tower nature, an ivory tower feel to Hollywood that people are just over it. They don't care about what you think about climate change or what you think about or who you thank in your award ceremony, because they're up here and you're down here, and they don't need to pay money or give you money or your network money by sitting down and watching that award show that is being advertised.
I also think that, I mean, I feel like I say this every time I'm on the show, but social media has changed so much of how we spend our how we use our attention and where we direct it. At one time, to see Sandra Bullock or anyone on the red carpet and who are you wearing and who did she bring and the papers that come after her, it's an industry that built itself, right? But I can look at her Instagram if I'm interested in what she's wearing.
Exactly.
I can look at his Twitter page and
get a much closer look. And get a far more realistic, not
celebrities
realistic.
aren't dependent on award show culture to be like this moment where they get photographed or they seem like people, they're just like us, or we have a connection with them.
There's literally a section in I don't know if it's the Daily Mail or one of the magazines where we get like a good amount of the stuff we talk about, and there's literally like a segment, like a section called Celebrities, They're Just Like Us, and it's always them like shopping or them buying food. I'm like, they're not like us.
I always want to make a parody that's like coworkers, they're just like you.
That would be good. That would be good. So yeah, I don't
know, they should do a segment where they're like humans, just being humans.
Yeah.
There you go. So there's others banking on the SAG Awards going into the Globes with 7 nominations. So they're talking about they're talking about it more from an industry perspective. Like, I don't know what they think. I don't know if there's money involved in winning awards.
I think it's
I think if it helps get other projects greenlit maybe down the line.
Well, and I think it's like when companies have like a Christmas party, right? Like, it feels good. We're all together for a moment. Marks the end of like a period of time. Like, this is award shows come at the end and they mark sort of the beginning of the production timeline for films, right? I understand that industry needs those. I just don't know from a marketing perspective what it is doing for consumers.
Yeah, for us anymore. So it says, mainly a depressed theatrical box office and pandemic cancellations are muting the noise around awards, but things are likely to pick up as we head into the final stretch with less potential for the usual award fatigue. So here's the winners listed. Best motion picture was, for a drama, was The Power of the Dog. I didn't see that. Best musical or comedy was West Side Story. Best motion picture animated was Encanto. Best motion picture non-English language was Drive My Car. I've been hearing a lot about that.
Oh, is it that one guy that plays in the TV show of Netflix called Elite?
I thought it was Lin-Manuel
Miranda.
I thought it was him, but I could be wrong. No, he was West Side Story. Right? I saw.
No, he's In the Heights. That's what you're thinking.
In the Heights, which didn't do well either in the theaters, but
which is amazing. Funny,
best original score. Best original score, Hans Zimmer for Dune. Weird because I thought that was like one of his less strong works. Best song was No Time to Die. That was Billie Eilish, right? Did No Time to Die. And then best screenplay, Kenneth Branagh's Belfast, and that's been getting rave reviews.
I want to watch Belfast so badly.
Is it on a streaming service? We should watch it.
It's on Amazon Prime.
We should all watch it.
Love that.
We should watch. And then best actor in a drama was Will Smith for King Richard. Best actress in a drama. Ooh, they allowed the use of the word actress. I thought you couldn't refer to women as actresses anymore. You're supposed to refer to them you're supposed to call them actors too.
I'm gonna ask that my title on timcast.com be writress.
Writress.
Because I like feminine pronouns.
Nicole Kidman for Being the Ricardos. That was a movie?
Yeah, I showed you.
I thought that was a show.
Oh, I would
no,
watch
it's
that.
a movie.
It's a movie. Okay. And then best actor in a musical or comedy, Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom. He should also win an award for pretending to not be in Spider-Man No Way Home. Very animatedly. So those are like the big winners. I'm really surprised Dune didn't win. Well, I guess it doesn't really show anything here for the effects related victories. So I don't think that award shows matter. I was going to go into this article. It says from Lad Bible saying Ricky Gervais thinks people are sick of virtue signaling celebrities, and it references his 2020 Golden Globe, the famous monologue. We'll skip it. It's
But that's interesting. That's like the most notable thing to have come out of the Golden Globes. If you told me Golden Globes, I would not think of anything except for maybe that speech.
What's funny is where I think they lost the plot. Do you remember mean tweets from like the Tonight Show?
Plot of life. Yeah, they lost the plot of life.
Do you understand? Do you remember mean tweets? Okay, so mean tweets was a great segment where people take the piss out of celebrities.
The Wire stole that segment.
Yeah, and then they're always like the celebrity always makes like a sullen face afterwards, like they're like. But the problem is, eventually the celebrity would like respond back to them. Now, half the articles you read are like, so-and-so Zendaya claps back at online troll. I'm like, you're a rich, famous person with millions of followers taking the time out of your day to clap back at some dude on the internet who probably has 34 people following him. It doesn't make you look like the better person. There was something inherently kind of wholesome about watching celebrities kind of get roasted and then just kind of take it, because everyone wants to be the guy who roasts the king, right? Everyone wants to be the person who so that they can have them taken down a peg.
That's why roasts exist.
Exactly.
Right? Like it's sort of, there's a catharsis to it.
I like what Kevin Hart's career plan: do everything Eddie Murphy did but shittier.
That's funny.
That was like I said, roasts are important. Like for that culture, they need to realize that as much as you want to believe that because you have social media, you're just like the rest of us, you're not, and that's fine. But you need to have a little humility, and I think that goes a long way in helping your brand. Look at Keanu Reeves. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.